All right, today's topic of conversation is cold plunges. If you listened to episode 130 with Kristin Weitzel, Warrior Woman, you know that I'm very interested in the benefits of getting into ice. She goes really in depth into why ice is important for everybody to take the plunge into. And if you're looking for more resources that are more scientific, check out Andrew Huberman and other guys like that. But today, what I want to talk about is why I do it and what are the benefits that I have found for me personally. There are 5 things that I've found that have been beneficial to my life. There's probably more, but I wanted to dissect it and give it to you in a digestible way so that you could potentially go off, get in the ice bath, and start relating it to your own life as well. What are these 5 benefits that I have found? 1 is muscle recovery. 2 is stress reduction. 3 is it helps support my immune system. 4 is it helps increase norepinephrine and dopamine, aka it boosts my mood. And then 5th, the one that I found that I think has had the most overall impact on my life is sleep. I train all the time, pretty much 7 days a week. So getting in the ice and helping myself recover quicker allows me to push myself more consistently on a daily basis. For fitness and exercise, everybody must choose what is best for them, but fitness for me is just as much mental as it is physical. So if I'm able to do some type of movement every single day, the better off I'm going to be and feel. That is why getting in the ice allows me to recover quickly and then be able to work out the next day or do the movements that I want to do the next day. Therefore, I feel like I could be the best me and everybody around me gets the best me at all times. The second thing is stress reduction. In today's world where we're on our phone and on the computer and constantly on the go, there's a lot of built up stress that we don't even realize that we have. This causes us to not really be able to focus on the current present moment. And when you get in that ice, I guarantee you, there's nothing else you're gonna be focusing on except for how cold you actually are. So you're forced to start breathing, you're forced to start taking in the feeling of how cold it is, and you're in the present moment. And that's something that I found I've struggled with over the years, is to be present, and the ice does that for you. Outside of the ice, it has reduced my stress in a lot of different ways in terms of my business, my personal relationships with my friends, and most importantly, my marriage. I find that I show up as a less anxious, less aggressive individual because I feel calm, cool, and collected. Maybe you could find the same result if you were to get into ice. The third thing is it supports my immune system. Having celiac and other autoimmune conditions over the course of my life, I've dealt with a lot of pain and procedures and going to doctors, and no one ever told me about ice baths. The first time I got an ice bath was for sports performance in college when I was a collegiate soccer player. But now as an adult, I've found that ice baths help reduce inflammation in my body, and this supports my immune system because with the reduced inflammation, my body is not fighting itself no more, but instead fighting any virus or bacteria that it might come in contact with. 4th, more norepinephrine and dopamine. Unfortunately, again, in today's world where we're constantly on the go and stressed out, this has an effect on our mood. When you get in the ice, I honestly don't even know how to explain it. It's really cold when you're in it. It puts you a little bit in a stressed state, but then once you get out, you feel like a new human being. You feel relieved, you feel like you can conquer the world, and you just feel a bolt of energy that I feel everybody should have. Last thing is it helps increase my sleep. Again, this is not something I've really done much research into as to why it impacts your sleep, but I do have the Oura Ring and a Whoop to prove that when I do get in an ice bath, at least for 3 minutes, on those days, I typically have more deep sleep and more REM sleep, and I just feel like I recover better. To give you a look into how an ice bath impacts my day, I'm just gonna give you a rundown of what it would look like to integrate that into my life, and then therefore you can go on and integrate it into your life. So again, I mentioned that the number one thing I love ice baths for is sleep. That sets me up for a successful next day. So if I were to ice bath today, let's say at 3 p.m., I go home and then I eat dinner, I get a good sleep, and then I wake up tomorrow, I'm now gonna be able to train in the morning. I typically do 2-a-days. I'll do some type of hybrid workout in the morning or some type of run, and then I lift in the afternoon. So what I'll do is I'll wake up feeling refreshed, I will do my first workout, and then I will typically go into any deep work that I have for the day. And later on in the afternoon, I'm gonna lift, get in the ice, go eat dinner, get a good sleep again. The practicality of the ice is throughout those days and everything that I have going on, it keeps me calm, cool, and collected. So a good instance is my wife is on the go all the time as well. And prior to focusing on my recovery and my mental health, I felt anxious a lot. And that anxiety would show itself when I was conversing with her, whether it's through text, on the phone, or when I got home from whatever I was doing. I would be short. I wouldn't be as collected as I feel when I get into the ice. The other thing that I haven't mentioned on this video yet is how it's helped with my digestion. Again, the inflammation that I used to feel prior to doing frequent ice baths used to mess with my digestion, and I felt a little bit off, like I wasn't gonna get the nutrients that I needed. Now that I'm focused on recovery and reducing my inflammation, I feel that when I eat throughout the day, I'm not as bloated anymore, and therefore my digestion is better. Again, these all add up because my digestion is better, my anxiety goes down, and then I can focus more on the conversations and communication with the people around me and anything that I'm working on in a calm, cool, and collected manner. So how can you integrate ice baths into your day? Really all it takes is if you have a bathtub or any type of tub, it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be plastic or metal. Go buy $30 worth of ice, fill it up with water, get in it. Other than that, if you want to progress a little bit into what products are out there in the world, I've used an ice barrel, I've used different metal tubs that are at farms, I've used cold plunge, I've used a forge. There's so many different variations of products that you could get yourself into, all with different price points. So that's really up to you how you want to get started, but I highly recommend that you integrate this into your life. It could be that you start off with cold showers for 20 seconds. Start integrating ice into your life. I highly recommend doing this. And if you have any questions about how you can integrate this into your life or about how this would impact you and the things that you are doing, please feel free to reach out and connect with me. Lastly, I mentioned at the beginning of this talk that if you want to get more in depth into the science behind it, go check out Andrew Huberman and guys like him that go into depth on how cold exposure can have a positive impact on your life. Thrive on.